Hi guys, so I left class and this thing's been bugging me. This 10 and 1/3%, turning it into a fraction, doing it differently than setting it up as a fraction and whatnot. So I came up with the answer, so let's consult the board behind me. Hopefully you can understand what's going on here, and then I'll just email this video out to you after I'm done. So we have 10 and 1/3%. Let's convert that into 10.3 repeating percent, right? I think we're in agreement that's what's going on as a repeated decimal. Speaking of as a repeated percent, but speaking of a decimal, if we convert that to a decimal, we've got 0.103 with the 3 repeating, right? Now I'm going to do something kind of wild here. I'm going to let x equal all of that. Okay, now here's, after I explain this, you might want to think about doing this the fraction approach, because this is going to become some wild stuff here. Okay, I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 1,000. And the reason I'm doing that is I want my decimal to be after this first repeating 3. And you'll see why in a minute. So I've got 1,000x, right? 1,000 times this x here, equaling 103.3 repeating. Okay, so remember this is like 0.103333333, right? So this 3 just keeps going on and on. So I'm just having the repeating coming up after the right hand side of this decimal place here. Now, bear in mind, in fact I'm going to write it that way, 103.33333 and so on. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm trying to get rid of all this repeating decimal business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another equation that goes 100x equaling 10.33333 repeating. Okay, in other words, I'm jockeying all these different equations where I'm moving this decimal place a bunch of times. Like here it was after this first 3, now it's in front of the first 3. But if I subtract these equations now, what I'm looking at is just these two equations right here. If I subtract 1,000, take away 100, that gives me 900x. Now on the right hand side, if I subtract 103.33333 minus 10.33333, look what happens to all the 3's over here on the right hand side of the decimal. They're gone, they're history. So 103, take away 10, what would that be? Why, it would be 93, right? So now, let me take what I've got here, move it up here. We are now looking at 900x equaling 93. I'm going to divide both sides by 900. So x will equal 93 over 900. And when you reduce that, it's divisible by 3, top and bottom. 93 divided by 3 is 31. 900 divided by 3 is 300. Okay? And that's how to get the answer that we got in class today of 31 over 300. Having said that, personally, I think the way that McKay mentioned this in class today was a little easier, where you take this 10 and 1/3% and convert that into 31 over 3. But remember, that's percent. So if you turn that into a decimal, that's 31 over 3 over 100. And that's the same thing as 31 over 3 times 1 over 100. Hello? That's 31 over 300. I think the fraction approach is going to be a little faster and a little easier on you guys. So take that for what it's worth. See you later.